Scone with the Columbia Medical Recruiting Station, and
I am Lieutenant Colonel Regina Thorp.
okay. And what do you do right now?
So right now I'm the brigade surgeon for 165th Infantry Brigade, but I'm a dual board certified family women's health nurse practitioner.
How long have you been in the military?
I've been in the military for 17 years.
How did you come into the military? You could tell everybody about
Yeah,
that.
so I came in the military through our LTC scholarship. It was a full scholarship. I graduated from Villanova University a couple years ago in 2006, and have been in ever since.
So what made you choose nursing, or why nursing?
Initially I thought I was going to be an engineer. My dad said, all right, great, go ahead and take honors physics, and realized that I hated it. So my mom was a nurse, and so I was like, all right, I'm going to try this nursing thing out. And then it really just stuck. I thought the program in college was a great program, and I couldn't see myself doing anything else.
Okay, so go ahead and tell the audience about your experience, your nursing experience here in the military. Talk about your career.
Sure.
Anything, go ahead and share.
It's been a variety of great experiences. You know, I first started out brand new nurse, couldn't even start an IV, and I was stationed at Fort Wainwright, which is in Fairbanks, Alaska. And they said, hey, you're going to start in the ER. So very steep learning curve, working in a very what we call austere environment. There weren't a lot of resources, only one other medical facility in Fairbanks. So it was, looking back, the amount of skills that I learned in such a short period of time was pretty remarkable. And I think a great credit to the military and what, the skills that we can do compared to our civilian side. From there, I deployed to Baghdad, Iraq with the 28th Combat Support Hospital, and worked in the ICW, so intermediate care ward. So worked primarily night shift and took care of patients. ICW was very close to the medical surgical ward, so I was there, and then came back, and then I PCS'd or moved to Fort Bliss, which is in El Paso, Texas. Really had a taste for ER medicine, and campaigned the leaders down there to work in the ER. From there, I went to the ER nurse course. So the Army allows you to specialize as an ER nurse, and I specialize as an ER nurse. And I just had a great time and lots of learning experiences at Fort Bliss. From there, then I moved to Korea, and I was the officer in charge of the ER in Korea for a year. So a great leadership opportunity to be one of the only English-speaking hospitals, primarily English-speaking hospitals on the Korean Peninsula, taking care of all services. Again, very huge learning curve, but very rewarding nonetheless. From Korea, I went to the 47th Combat Support Hospital. So, to think of MASHs, back in the day, it's the equivalent. And I was the officer in charge of clinical operations. So I helped maintain training and development and competencies for not only the medical providers and nurses, but also the medics and all the other medical enlisted with that. And then from there, I applied for Nurse Practitioner School. Okay. And I applied for the Uniformed Services University and got in. And so went to school for 3 years, got my doctorate in nursing practice, and then was stationed here at Fort Jackson. Spent 1 year here at Moncrief, and then from Moncrief, I had this opportunity to take this brigade surgeon position, which is a relatively new position. Not a lot of nurse practitioners get this opportunity to fulfill this brigade surgeon level equivalent, but I have basically 6 different battalions under me. Each battalion has 1 PA and 2 medics, and we take care of trainees. So right before they get injured, or right after they get injured, we take care of them so that way they can get back to training and back to developing from a trainee to a soldier. So it's a pretty rewarding experience, and that's where we got here.
Okay, so you pretty much covered how the Army has positively influenced your nursing career. What would you say is your greatest experience, or what is your most, something that you're just really, really happy that you're able to take away from your experience so far?
I think as a whole, I look at, one, I think the overall development has been just remarkable. I think the nurse practitioner, the training that I've gone through was challenging. But I do think that, eventually when I retire and go on the civilian side, that all the training that I've been through will set me apart from my peers. I think that the education as well. I don't have any student loans. And that's huge. I have my bachelor's, my master's, and my doctorate all paid for. And, with having children, having a family, and not having student loans is just a pretty remarkable thing. So
That is actually, I don't even think I have anything else to say, really. Really, I mean, because you even covered about your personal life. Really, if you have any advice to give current nursing students or somebody aspiring to be where you are right now, what kind of advice would you give them?
first of all, don't give up. I think that's the biggest, because there's going to be so many challenges in nursing school. And I talked to one of my good friends, my childhood friend, and she kind of was lost. And she and I, obviously, we graduated at the same time, and she just graduated from nursing school. And I told you I graduated in 2006, so you can do the math of, we're not young anymore. But yes, don't give up. There are going to be challenges, but you overcome those challenges, and then you can kind of look back and see, not only did I get through nursing school, but let's go ahead and consider nurse practitioner or specialize in ER nurse. So that's my greatest advice. And then look for the resources that can support you in that decision. And I think that for me, and I think for those that are just on the fence about considering the military, if you have just an inkling or if you have just a little bit of curiosity, I say go for it. You won't regret it.
Yes. Well, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. And thank you for all the wisdom that you're sharing with the students today.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you.